and reveals herself as a half vampire who's looking to be cured. And then at that point, it emerges that David had intended for Michael to be Star's first kill, sealing her fate as a vampire and making her a permanent one.
Oh, there you go. You just explained it. She didn't kill anybody. You're right.
Right. Yeah. So he was supposed to be her first.
I wonder how long she's been a vampire.
I don't know. I wonder how long the rest of them have, too, because, I mean, they all look like they're teenagers and stuff, but, again, once you become a vampire, you kind of stop at the age that you are and then sort of how you remain.
I mean, I don't want to say whether it's good or bad, but this movie severely lacks explanations as to how, I mean, there's no explanation as to how things got to where they are, really.
Right, and I think that's part of what makes it scary, though.
Yeah.
Is the non-explanation, because if everything's explained out to you, it loses its luster. You know, you're not really wondering. And I think wonder is the key to keeping an audience in horror, you know, and in any movie, but especially in horror. You have to keep them guessing as to why this is the way it is, because it provokes further insight and it makes them want to watch it more and research it on their own. And before you know it, you know, they've learned something else and they've researched it so much that they're applying it, and then, you know, the movie resonates to them on a different level. But I digress. Let me get off my soapbox or coffin lid, whatever the fuck you want to call it for this episode. But anyway, so the next day, Michael's weak, very weak, because he hasn't fed. And Michael leads Sam and the Frog Brothers to the vampire's lair. Initially, they're like, we're not riding the vampire, you know. And they're very
like, well, you
clearly
can stay here.
opposed.
Now we do.
Huh?
Yeah. You can stay here. Well, now we ride with vampires.
Yeah. And then of course, they impale one of the vampires, Marco, with a stake. And remember, this is where Bill talked about that sparkly goo.
Yeah.
It was really cool stuff. So they stake Vampire, and I love Kiefer Sutherland's reaction. You're dead meat. Like,
he gets all
okay.
It's funny. You dead meat. He acted like fucking Glazer from The Burning.
Yeah, he was more like a bully. But I something else that I wanted to touch on was the shot that happens of the feet, them hanging upside down. You know, and that's when the Frog Brothers realize that the cave is one giant coffin, to paraphrase Corey Feldman's character.
Their lair.
But, yeah, but the feet were really cool looking. I remember Bill talked about that last episode, about the intricacies of the feet and how impressive they were. Yeah, they are. Very much so. And this is the only movie that I could think of where it's like the staking becomes so messy. Like, it's way messier in this movie than it is in so many others.
Except for Dracula Dead and Loving It, where it's like...
Yeah, except for that. With Steven Weber, where all that blood, it becomes like a fucking comedy show where 30 gallons of blood come out of his body.
So fucking awesome.
The movie is great. Wrong me. I'm sorry. I love that. I love that.
Ghostbusters 2 last week. Let's go ahead and fucking talk about him. Why not?
Yeah, why the fuck? Well, and I love how the doctors, Harvey Korman's answer was to give him an enema for fucking everything.
Yes.
But anyway, so they stake Marco, and they awaken the other vampires. The boys escape, and they rescue Star and Laddie, and that's sort of where you're more introduced to Laddie. More in person as being a half vampire child.
And I still don't feel like we get enough of Laddie for us to give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, we get a brief moment of Laddie, but not enough to where it's like, I really care about this kid.
Yeah, that's true. So that evening, while Lucy's on a date with Max, third fucking time, at his place, the grandfather's out of the house, and then, wait a minute, there is something else. I did miss something. Shit, I didn't want to forget it. When they go to visit Max's house and Thorne fucking tries to kill her, that's fucked up.
Oh yeah, that dog's fucking crazy.
Yeah, biting through fences and wood planks and shit, yeah. And that's sort of when Sam puts together that he's the Hellhound. The Hound of Hell, rather. guarding the vampire's, resting place while he sleeps during the.
Well, that's another throwback to Fright Night for me, because it reminds me of usually they have the human familiar, but this Hound of Hell is kind of similar to that.
Yeah, true. So this is where it gets so weird. This is the first movie I've ever seen where the teens arm themselves with water guns that are filled with holy water. So I'm sure the production, it probably only cost them like $10 or $20 to go get these water guns, all of them.
It reminds me of Bordello Blood later on, which also has Corey Feldman in it.
Yep, true. Yep, Tales from the Crypt, Bordello Blood. Yep, isn't
I
Dennis
love that
Miller
fucking
in
movie.
that too?
Underrated, I might say.
Yeah, it is. So Dennis Miller's in that too, isn't he?
He is, and also you've got one of the Baywatch chicks whose name I can't think of right now, but yeah.
Was
blonde,
it
one of the blondes.
Yasmin Bleeth or something?
No, it's not Yasmin Bleeth. It's the same one who was in The Blob.
Oh, shit, I don't remember. Yeah.
She had big tits. Erica Eleniak. That's her.
There you go. So the teens arm themselves with these holy water-filled guns, long bone stakes, barricade themselves in that house, and when night falls, David's gang, they attack the house. So the Frog Brothers and Nanook, mostly Nanook, manage to kill one of the vampires because Nanook just shows up and pushes the vampire into a bathtub filled with garlic and holy water. And that death is really brutal of that vampire. Like that whole sequence, even though it's not really bloody, is very, very graphic.
I liked it. I thought it was a cool fucking vampire death. A little bit reminiscent of like John Carpenter's Vampires later on, where it's a little bit more gory than most that you get in this movie or most other movies from the 80s.
True. But so the vampire dissolves, and at that point, then for whatever reason, the rest of the pipes in the house, they all start shooting blood and shit out of them and like slime. And the fucking toilet explodes, sink downstairs, bathroom sink. The Frog Brothers get covered in the shit. So it's just all fucked up. The whole house is just, fucking lost by that point. So Sam is attacked by Dwayne, and shoots an arrow through his heart and into the stereo behind him. And he had missed the first time, and I love the line where he says, "You missed, sucker," and he's like, "Only once." And then he shoots the arrow into him, and he's like, "Death by stereo."
I thought I was watching Blackula when he said, "You missed, sucker."
Yeah. But it causes parts of his body to explode, and that was pretty cool. And then
exploding vampires are always fun.
Yes. Michael is then attacked by David, and that whole interaction, this is where you see Michael actually vamp out.
It was a weak fucking kill scene. Like, I don't know. You'd think for David to be such a big character in this movie, it would just, I don't know, man.
He was really pissed that he died, too. Well, yeah, he's like, no. When my blood is in your veins, Michael. And he's like, so is mine. And then he fucking, impales him on the antlers. And he's like, no. And then finally you hear the parts of the song, Cry Little Sister, and then this white light kind of falls on David's face. I assume that there's been some sort of fucking redemption even for him,
I think a lot of it was you're supposed to feel sorry for David, but at the same time, it's really weird that Max, which we're about to find out shortly, is the head vampire, is letting David, turn people the way he is. Because usually it's a head vampire type of thing, like Barlow and fucking Salem's Lot.
Yeah. It's true, and it's kind of reckless to just let an inexperienced man, well, more inexperienced than, you, if you were Max.
Yeah, who knows how long fucking Max has been around. Gee, I mean, that's the thing, again, we don't get much as far as that goes, but, it's not a criticism, it's just what it is.
Yeah, true. I mean, that is just how it is, and I think it makes it scarier that way. But, so he overpowers David and impales him on the antlers, and then Michael, Star, and Laddie, they don't transform back to normal as they had hoped. So it's that point that they realize that David wasn't the head vampire. So Lucy returns home with Max, and then he is revealed to be the head vampire. And his makeup is pretty hilarious, like, you know, the way he turns. And then the whole sequence.
His forehead gets all big and shit.
Yeah, one big happy for your boys and my boys. And then, what is it, Corey Haim does the blood-sucking Brady Bunch. And
I don't think this was a surprising turn either. I think most people who saw this had to know he was going to end up being the vampire. I mean, there was no other options other than maybe like
right,
Grandpa.
but it was a cool way to explain how he wasn't found out earlier. He's like, never invite a vampire into your house, you silly boy. It renders
dumbass Michael.
Yeah. And then he's like, I didn't invite you into this time, Max. And he's all vamped out and shit. And then he gets fucked up. I mean, he gets thrown into, like, the ceiling or something and then falls down. And then you have this fucking, like, speech from Max about wanting Lucy and all that. And I think that's a funny, like, throwback to Dracula because Lucy is the name of one of the victims in the novel Dracula. So I think that was kind of like a more modern take on the vampire, on the Dracula tale, to have that name in there like that. But yeah, so he informs the boys that to invite a vampire into one's house renders one powerless over the said vampire, explaining why their earlier things didn't work. And then Max reveals that he had instructed David to go ahead and turn Sam and Michael so that Lucy couldn't refuse to be transformed herself. And then his objective has been to get Lucy to be a mother to his children. Because remember earlier, he was like, you know, caring mother. He mentions that to her when she's trying to, I guess, make excuses for Sam's behavior. But, yeah.
Sure
so there's that.
Sam's a retard. I can't help it.
So as Max pulls Lucy to him, we hear that terrible fucking horn that we can talk about earlier from Grandpa's car. And he fucking crashes through the fucking wall of the house and impales Max on this wooden fence post. And then he gets slammed into the fucking fireplace and explodes and causes this big fucking mess. And then, so Michael, Star, and Laddie all then return to normal. And this is the funniest shit to me. Amongst all this, Grandpa goes into the fridge, gets a drink, and his daughter's asking him, Dad, are you okay? And he's, you know, Dad? And he's like, one thing about living in Santa Clara, I never could stomach, all the damn vampires. So it's assumed at that point that he knew. Because earlier he makes a statement that if all the dead bodies in Santa Clara were to stand up, there'd be one hell of a population problem. So
Grandpa's like fucking Van Helsing.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then the movie ends on that. People are strange when you're strange. You know, that's very cool.
The song. What's the song? Something fall down or whatever.
Oh, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, the Elton John cover. Yeah.
I love that song. That's really fucking good.
It is a good song. This whole soundtrack's amazing. So at this point, the screen goes black, and then you hear People Are Strange, and then the credits start rolling, and then that's the end of the movie. And you're left wondering what the fuck just happened, you know?
Yep. Well, that's going to lead us to Silent Vic and his opinions on the movie. Silent Vic?
Yes, sir.
All right, talk about it, man. You watched it today. You have the freshest opinion of it, even though I watched it earlier today.
Well, first of all, it cut off towards the end because Netflix sucks or my internet sucks or whatever. But I saw enough I need to know to realize I still don't like the movie.
Vic's not a vampire guy. For anybody who's listening right now, like I could pick out almost any vampire movie, and he wouldn't say much about it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I like the Fell Dog. I like the fact that it plays People Are Strange because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. I like the fact that it starts out in the amusement park. I don't like much else about it. Oh my God! It's all right. I give it a 2.5 and a 4, I guess. It's all right.
Where I thought you would go with it.
It's nothing I'm never going to watch again unless we do another podcast about it. To be completely honest with you. some girl I used to fuck with loved it, and I was like, I'm not watching. I don't like you. So it is what it is. 2.5 out of 4 though. So I guess it's okay. I guess.
All right.